Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we are going to be checking out some cabins that I think you need to avoid, and we're also going to be solving the mysteries behind them in this video today, too. So if you feel like you can help and contribute solving this, be sure to let us know in the comments down below. But anyways, let's jump into it and let's get it started. Our first cabin today is just a bit to the northwest of Valentine, north of the Dakota River. And what's interesting about this cabin is when you arrive, it looks like everything is pretty thriving. You guys can see that there are like pelts of what looks to be maybe animals or skunks and cowhide on the, barrels out front. So it looks like it's a good little place. However, when you approach the door, you'll notice that you can't enter inside normally. The only way to enter would be to kick it. So when I first saw this cabin, I was like, okay, this has got to be like a hunter of some sort. So I was almost sort of preparing for an ambush on the inside. And when I got on the inside, I was horrified. So the first thing I noticed is that there was two younger people that were just dead. One of them on the bottom of the bunk bed, and the other one is sort of hanging out on the floor. And what I noticed is that there was a lot of empty cans of like bottles and food here. Things like canned meats and canned vegetables, etc. And it's pretty creepy. Now, upon examining the entire place, it doesn't look as if there was any robbery here. It looks like there's some like blood with some knives, but again, these people are hunters, so it wouldn't be surprising if that's where maybe they, cook meats or prep food or whatever the case is. So that area didn't really scare me. And, the two young fellows, they didn't look like they had any crazy wounds on them or anything like that. So I wasn't really skeptical that there was any foul play that went on here, but I was having a hard time figuring out what happened at this place. I was looking for signs of smoke or fire or something along those lines. I didn't see anything. I was just seeing a ton of empty cans of food. So did someone come here and eat all their food? That's kind of the only thing that I could really think of. So I went back outside trying to look for more clues, and I really couldn't find anything. And honestly, I was getting very frustrated with this cabin because I wanted to figure out what was going on here, but I wasn't having any success. And then I ended up going back inside, and I found this book, Otis Miller and the Arabian Prince, and I noticed that it was on top of this nightstand. And when I collected that, I actually was able to search the drawer underneath. And that's when I found something interesting. I actually found a letter. And the letter was written to these two boys, Glenn and Eddie, from Mama. So now we know who they are, Glenn and Eddie. And it said this, Glenn and Eddie, I've gone to track down those men and get our money back. The door's locked and the windows are boarded shut. Promise me you won't answer to nobody who comes calling, even if you think you know them. There's enough food and water for 4 days or more, but I should be home by tomorrow night at the latest. Practice your reading and writing for me. All my love, Mama. Wow, so that turned into an incredibly sad story. Although I'm not sure if I approve of the mom's tactics. Why would you lock someone in? I mean, I understand they might be young boys, and we obviously don't know the threat that came to steal their money. So it looks like they were robbed, but the mom wasn't having that and was ultimately going to go back and get the money. And apparently she just never returned, because if they had enough water for 4 days, she was definitely gone for longer than that, because it looks like it's been a bit since they've had any food and water. So I think that solves the mystery of this cabin right here. As you guys can see, that is Clausen's Rest. So if you're interested in checking that out for yourself, you guys can head up to Clausen's Rest. It is, again, just northwest of Valentine's. That's our first location today. Our second location today is just to the north of Rhodes. It is actually called Southfield Flats or Southfield Flats. And when I noticed this cabin for the first time, I noticed there was a gun out in the back, like a gun icon. And usually when that happens, something is typically up. And I also noticed that there was some blood on the porch, and it was leading to the door of this house. And I knew something was going to be on the inside here. And upon entering for the first time, yep, wouldn't you know it, it looks like we've stumbled across a murder scene. And this one looks like it has two victims. Looks like it has a male on the floor, and then there is a female on the bed. Yikes, something seriously went wrong there, and you can see there's like cut marks and slash marks. Whoever did this was on a mega revenge mission. So I searched through this entire cabin and I wasn't able to find a single hint of what happened here. You just had the two bodies right there. I just kept searching and searching, and all I was finding was various provisions and whatnot. So I thought to myself, okay, maybe I'll find something where that gun is in the back. And wouldn't you know, as soon as I walked outside, what did I find leaned against a wagon? I found another female with a bullet hole in her head. And if you actually loot her, you can grab a letter. And this letter is a letter to Annette from Claude. So let's read this. It says, Annette, I did not want to write this letter. I thought I had been clear at the stable and clear again when you waited for me outside the general. Harriet was still inside. She could have seen you. It's a miracle she did not. Now, I know I made promises to you, and I know the time we had was good, but Harriet is my wife, and if she's willing to give me another chance, I need to give her and myself that opportunity. I cannot know you any longer. Please stop looking for me in town. Please stop leaving me packages at the post office. Please, for the love of God, please do not approach Harriet. I do care about you, but I cannot have you in my life anymore. Leave me and my family alone, Claude. So it looks like this girl outside is Annette. The man on the inside is Claude, and the lady on the inside is Harriet. Now, from what I can gather, it looks as if Claude was having like an affair with Annette, but then he ended it. But Annette still had feelings for Claude, and his wife gave him a second chance, and it just turned into a bad situation, and she ended up going on a murdering spree. That's kind of what I gathered from what happened at this cabin right here. And as you guys can see, if you want to check this out for yourself, it's where it's located. It's called Southfield Flats, and I think it's called Robard Farm. I kind of have a hard time. I don't know if it's Roband or Robard, but either way, you guys can see where it is. So if you want to check it out for yourself, you can do so. Anyways, moving on to our next cabin that you should not visit. This one is to the east of Emerald Station and Emerald Ranch. So let's actually head there right now. And just like our first cabin today, everything looks pretty normal on the surface here. You know, it's well lit. There's like a chicken coop on the outside. It looks like it's thriving. However, when you go up to the door, you'll notice that you have to kick it in to actually enter. And there's no other way to enter. So it looks like we're going to do the exact same thing here. We are going to kick our way inside. And when you come inside for the first time, number one, you'll notice it's very smoky in here. But also number two, that is an entire family just dead. And what's weird about this is there seems to be no signs of foul play here. It's just everyone looks to have been doing something casually fun. Like that little kid was on a toy horse. The grandma looked to have been in a rocking chair. Everyone else looks to have been eating. There's even a chicken on the inside here. And I was starting to look around and I noticed that there was, again, a lot of smoke and that there was a pipe between their oven and I guess like their chimney. So I don't know what sort of gas or smoke this would be producing. Is it carbon monoxide? Is it CO2? I am certainly not a scientist, but the fact that there's this like white smoke pouring out of here, to me is a strong indication that maybe these people were just doing something normal. They didn't notice the smoke and it ended up like killing them. And that was it. Now, once again, I searched around this entire cabin and I wasn't able to find any clues. I wasn't able to find like any, oven repair pamphlets that might have said, hey, they were due for a warranty or something along those lines. But that looks like it was the ultimate cause of what happened to this family right here, which is really sad because it does look as if they were just enjoying themselves, having a good time. And then all of a sudden, that's the end. They just don't wake up. And it looks like that's the exact case that happened right here. All right, and moving on to our final cabin today. This one is a bit out of the way, but I think I saved the best for last here. So if you're interested in checking this out, it's actually well to the west of Strawberry, like northwest. It's almost in the far northwest of the map, and it's actually a place called Vetter's Echo. So I'm going to let you guys take a listen to this right here because it's by far the best of the cabins that we're going to be checking out today. Oh gosh, I am so sorry for anyone that's watching who maybe had headphones on or just got jump scared. Now you know how I felt the first time when I went into this cabin. Rockstar Trolls, they put a bear jump scare into this cabin that you end up have to killing. Just absolutely horrifying. The rest of this cabin, I wasn't sure like what was significant here. There's like a couple of things like a cigarette card, and there's obviously like a lockbox in which you can take some money and some supplies that you can gather. But there's nothing really all that unique here. I'm pretty sure Rockstar literally did this just to scare people to death. And again, that's exactly what happened to me when I visited this place for the very first time. But anyways, that right there is 4 cabins that you should not visit in Red Dead Redemption 2, unless you want to have some sad stories told, and unless you want to get scared to death by a massive grizzly bear. I think it's best to avoid them. But anyways, that's all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating on this video. That'd be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.